Aloha mai kako. I greet you with salamat siang, which in Balinese means good afternoon. My name is Melissa Orozco Vargas, and I am a part of the outreach team from the East-West Center Arts Program, which is located on the campus, a shared campus of University of Hawaiʻi at Mānoa. So we are here from Oahu today, and we are so happy to be here in Hana with all of you. Can you all hear me well? You folks cannot hear? Okay. Sorry, I'm a little tied up here. Okay, how's that? Can you hear me better? All right. So aloha. Again, my name is Melissa Orozco Vargas, and I am a part of the outreach team from the East-West Center Arts Program, which is located in Honolulu. We share a campus with the University of Hawaiʻi at Mānoa. And we're so excited to be here in Hana today to share with you a little bit of Balinese culture. Today we have here Imade Moja, and you can call him Pak Moja. Can everyone say Pak Moja? Yes, and Pak Moja comes from a line of artists. Who here, can you raise your hands, who here is an artist? I see many beautiful hands. And are you an artist because you inherited that from your family? If you are, raise your hand. Aha, so some of you are. Well, Pak Moja is just like you because he has inherited two different art forms, primarily. He is a painter on the part of his father's side, Pak Budi, and on his mother's side, he is a dancer. So he carries both of these traditions. And at the East-West Center Gallery, we are currently featuring his work. And so your teachers will have this handout, and you can see some of the painting, the beautiful painting that he's done. And yeah, today we're mostly going to be sharing with you some dance traditions. But before we begin that, I want to ask you a question. Does anyone know where Bali is? Yes, where is Bali? Bali is in Indonesia. And what kind of, what is Bali? Do you know what Bali is? Like what kind of, what's character, geographically, what is Bali? In Southeast Asia, yeah. And Bali is an island, and Bali, Pak Moja pointed this out to me, is very similar in shape to Maui. It's a little bit flatter on some of the edges, but otherwise it has a very similar shape. So today we're going to be introducing you to some of the dance forms, and then we will also be sharing with you some puppets, the puppet tradition of wayang, and the dance is called topeng. We have a ceremonial mask dance, but we also have a dance that's going to be unmasked. So let's get started with our presentation. And what I would like you to do is pay very close attention to how he moves, the energy in his body from the top of his head to the bottom of his feet, and keep those observations because we're going to talk about them after we're finished. So this first dance is called Baris, and this is the dance of the warrior. Thank you. So, as you can see, he is wearing a very beautiful costume. Pakmoja, can you come just step forward a little bit, and they can see that. I'm not sure if you noticed, but so he has this cloth and this very intricate beading that's done in the on the costume, and also on the back he has a sword. I don't know if you noticed the sword that was back there. But anyway, so the bodice is the warrior's journey. Could you see that? The warrior going on a journey. So the dance is a way of telling a story. And what I would like you to do is, can I get a couple of people to tell me about what they saw from his head down to his feet? What were some of the things that you noticed about the way he moved, his expression? Yes. His eyes were twitching, his eyes were moving really fast. Do you think you could do that with your eyes? No? Yes. His hands were vibrating. A lot of energy in his hands. How about from folks over here? Yes? Moving his head a lot? Yes? Oh, so balancing on one foot, a lot of stabilization that he had to practice in there. Yeah, would anyone like to come up and can you show me with your body something that you saw, the energy that he carried in his body? Yes, show us. Oh, beautiful. That's a beautiful spin. How about the arms? Can you stand up and show me his arms? What did his arms look like? Yes. Oh, yeah. Very nice. So now we're going to move on to a very different kind of dance, which is called Topeng Tua. And this dance is about a prime minister, like a retired prime minister. He's very old, and it is a mask dance. And you'll see, a very different style, and even the music. So listen to the music, which is called gamelan. Can everyone say gamelan? Yeah, so the configuration or the instruments that are used in this second piece are much different, or are a little bit different than what you heard in the first piece. So see if you can point out those differences as well. So I have a question for you. Based on what you saw, this old man, the way he was moving and the way that he presented himself, if you could ask him one question, what would you like to ask him? Yes, do you have a question for him? How can you still move like a child if you're so old? Do you want to answer that question, Pakmoja? You're good. Yep, you're on.
I'm good. Okay. Actually, the old man dance, like a prime minister, like used to be. He's a general, very strong character. When he dance, this reflect himself. Sometimes he dance, try to be like a strong young boy again, but the fact he doesn't have that energy anymore. If you see, when he dance, kind of like, when he's inter, he kind of like trip. Because he tried to think he's young, think he has still so powerful, lot of energy from the past.
Maybe does anybody here know a kupuna or someone in your life who's kind of like that? Sometimes they try a little bit too hard thinking that they can do it. Yeah, you have someone like that in your family? Yeah, I'm thinking about my grandpa, right? If he thinks that he can do it, but sometimes he cannot. They just, right? Okay, what's another question that you might like to ask this old man? Yes. Oh, you want to ask about how does he move his fingers like that?
It's at first kind of like you bending like this, like make curve your hands.
You want to try? Put your hand out.
Yeah, straight first, and then a flicking. So you can flick in either hand. Sometimes like your pinky and index. Sometimes your thumb. So that's how you start it first. First like this, bend it here, and then flick like this. Of course, at first beginning you can doing like this, and then later on you can flicking your hand like this. And with the music, really helped me to doing that. You know, when the music's a lot of layers, sometimes very fast, but the melodic very simple, very slow, but the rest of the melody, the instrument very fast. So helping me to flicking my hands, my fingers.
And no matter the style that you're dancing, whether it's the warrior dance or the old man or even a female style or the king or the ogre dance, all of it is always the energy from your core, from the bottom of your feet. All of that energy comes up. So even if it's really slow, right, all of that energy is going to come out from your body and extend to the tips of your fingers and to the bottom of your feet. I don't know if you notice the toes, but the toes are oftentimes curled up. So there's a lot of energy that's happening the entire time. Yes, is there another question that you want to ask? The old man or the warrior even? Yes?
How do my body move? In Balinese dance, they have a form like side, left, and right. So just side like this, one side this, and then what happened? Where you can put your energy? When you to your left or to your right, all the energy here. So when you lift up your toe, the other legs, you still keep the balance, like so. And then you walk. So in Bali, they have Balinese dance. They have form how you start to walk first. Like walking, how you walk stylized. Instead, just walk like this. They have techniques for the dance, how to walk, special for this style, the male style. At first, open your leg like this, spread up like this, and then your toe, bring it up, and then this one twist it, and go up, and go down, shift your energy, switch your energy to here, and then while you switch your energy here, and then turn the other legs. Yeah, then you have to move side to side.
It's a lot of practice, a lot of basics. So those of you who have ever, or if you are a hula dancer, right, you always practice with basics, finding your center and balancing, even with ballet dancers. So a lot of, these same kind of discipline exists across many different forms of dance. All right. Well, friends, we don't have so much time, so I'd like to introduce you to some of our wayang, our puppets. And this is another performance practice, a performance style that comes from Bali. Wayang kulit are the leather puppets. And these are, although you'll see them, they're very beautiful here and colorful. The way that they are presented is in shadow form. So you would be watching a shadow puppet show.
For the shadow puppet, usually the dalang, the puppeteer, they know how to dance because it's how they move the puppet. They have special technique how to move the puppet. For example, here. This is part of the dance. Now when you move the puppet, so if you see the body, the topeng, the mask dance earlier, they have a lot of dynamic, like suddenly stay still, suddenly like moving. This also the dance like that too. Sometimes they stay still, and then that's how we practice the hand movement a lot. Instead, like for Balinese dance, you have to start from the feet, how to walk. But in here, and how you turn your puppets. So the puppet not gonna work this way. More like smooth. So the same thing with your hand.
And if you look at the fingers of the puppets, and I'll come and show a little bit closer, you can see that the fingers of the puppets are also very articulated. And the fingers are long and extended. This is a female puppet. Can you see the hands? The long arms extended just like the way he's dancing, right? See those beautiful fingers? If you're interested in seeing the puppets a little bit closer, tonight we are having a workshop. And you're welcome to attend with your families, and we can play with these puppets, tell stories, and maybe create some of our own too.
Yeah, the female styles come more like dancing, much smoother than the male style. The one I show like more like this, like the king. So he's move less stylized than the female. So the other hand, this the monkey king called Hanuman. So he's more energetic. So like a lot of jumping rounds, the puppet. Then the other puppet, so Balinese shadow puppet, the puppet itself, I think about hundreds of them. And so we just bring how many, like 4 or 5 puppet. And so the puppet, sometimes they have to move them out. The one you see, the puppet there, they don't have to move them out. They just like, stay still. And with this puppet, usually this character is servants or clowns. So the way they move here, you have trigger. If you see my thumb, if you pull it here, the mouth itself is moving. And then the eye, I don't know, you can see the eye. They have some almost like spring, actually like stick. It's made from buffalo horns. So when you pull it, almost like blinking at the same time, when I open his mouth here. So it's the character of the puppet, like almost like humans. They have a lot of anger. They have some lot of what call it, wise, and there's so many characters in the puppet. I think almost like human, but this character is so proud about himself. He thinks he's always handsome. He thinks he always know what he's doing. And then always think everybody lower than him. So this is kind of like sometimes they call this puppet like Big Mouth because he's talk too much. So, hey everybody, how are you doing? My name is Delum. Can you repeat that? Delum.
Delum.
That sounds good. That's my name. Handsome Delum.
Hey, so Pakmoja, the stories that are told, like when we think about the stories that we might tell here, the legends, we have different kinds of legends of Hawaii, epic stories. The ones that are told with these puppets are often from the Ramayana or the Mahabharata, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so why does Delum have a mouth that can talk and these puppets don't?
So when the puppet talking in Balinese, they use a kawi, like Sanskrit word, but the character translate into the Balinese. So when we perform here, we translate it to English from the high language and into the English. So that's where like translation also. This is clown, and then this is the bad side of the clowns, and the bad side of the servants. We do have the in good side too. It's always balance between bad and good, and how to harmonize together, how do we work it together. So.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions about the puppets? Yeah, you have a question? Go ahead. Yes. The names of the puppets? Do they have names? They do.
Actually, they have name underneath there.
Yes, and I can tell you, because it's labeled right here. Her name is Bidadari, and what's his name? Do you know?
I'm not sure with this one. Sorry.
But the
it's
monkey,
because so
the
many.
monkey that he showed,
it's like
he said
100 of them, so I did forget about these characters.
the name of the monkey is Hanuman.
Hanuman, so we like so many puppets. So the female one they call Bidadari, like the angel. Sometimes we call just a servant for that characters.
And the excuse me, forgot what I was going to say. I was going to say that the dalang is how you say puppeteer. So that dalang is one person by themselves operating all of these different puppets and telling the story in the different language, in the high language, and also in the language, in the colloquial language of the people, the local language. And that person is also conducting the gamelan, the orchestra, at the same time. So this person is extremely talented and must have a brain that has the capacity of, like, I don't know, 20 people. Yes. Can he speak?
Matur suksma. Can you see matur suksma? Can you say matur suksma? That means thank you in English. And also terima kasih. Terima kasih in Indonesia called thank you also. So in Indonesia, mostly people speak two languages. One is mother tongue language, and the other one Indonesian. So I speak two languages, and Balinese, Indonesia, and a little bit English.
So your cousin Paktut, he is a dalang, and he can speak Kawi also.
Yeah, the speak Kawi usually we speak during the performance for the mass dance, shadow puppet, and also art performance as well.
Yeah, so this form is one of the forms that the University of Hawaiʻi at Mānoa Department of Theater and Dance has brought to Kennedy Theater, and we have had Pak Moja and his cousin Paktut and another artist named Madewidana, who's a musician, they've come together and they train students for intensive periods of time, like 6 months or a year even, and they learn how to do these, the dances. They learn how to do the dances so that they can come on stage and actually perform in these costumes, and be puppeteers and perform for the public. So the last production that was done, which is the shirt I'm wearing here, called The Last King of Bali. And so they got to work with Pak Moja, who creates new puppets, and they integrate the traditional puppets along with with new puppets that are contemporary. And then sometimes the humans become puppets too, and are engaging in a form called wayang listrik, which is electric wayang, and that's projected onto a large screen, almost like a movie theater screen. So it's not just a screen that's this big, but now it's huge, and you can see it. You have the humans interacting with the puppets on the same screen, and that's what some of the work that Pak Moja does in the Bay Area.
So during the puppet theater, we use a big screen, like said, like 15 and 35 wide screen, like the movie theater. And we have Gamala assemble, the musician in the front of the screen. And then sometimes the dancer dancing in front of the screen, sometimes they dance behind the screen. So we use multiple lights, so many lights in the behind, so you can project to the shadow to the screens.
It's like an entire workshop behind that screen, and then they're constantly shifting between one scene and the next. Sorry, were there other questions? Did you want to share your question at last back there? No? Okay. I think we have time for 2 more questions, and then we're going to have to go. Yes? Is it easy to make a puppet? That's a great question.
It's hard. For me, it's really hard. I can make a puppet, but hard for me because I'm not trained to make a puppet. But I do make a puppet.
They're made out of buffalo hide. These are. But oftentimes the ones that he's creating are made out of paper or plastic.
How about the green T-shirt all the way back there?
Say your question nice and loud. Have you ever used your sword? Do you ever use it?
Yes, some scene, like fighting scene. I'm talking about the sword, right? So sometimes we use that for fighting scene. And the sword in Bali, we use real sword. And sometimes we just use wood sword, just for pretending to fight. So nobody got hurt. Nobody got hurt using even the real sword because we train how to use it without hitting each other. We just practice over and over. Especially the fighting scene so important because nobody want to get hurt.
Yeah. One last question. Anybody over there? So, okay, we can stay after if you have a little bit more questions, but I'm going to ask over there since we didn't get to hear from them very much, okay? Yes. How long does it take to make a puppet? It varies, doesn't it?
I think this is different, and for this one, less detail. Like the puppet maker making this one maybe for 3 days. They can make it for 2 days. And for me, maybe 1 month. So, because I'm not, it's my hands not trained for making puppet like that. And also depends how to make the puppet itself. Sometimes it's like 1 month, like the puppet called Kayonan, Tree of Life, so much detail. And we have to make a hole. Use chisel, like you can punch it almost like hammer, using small tool.
Yeah. Okay, well, thank you so much, everyone, for being here today and for your beautiful questions and your wonderful participation as well. You're so observant. We would like to thank the East-West Center and the UH Center for Southeast Asian Studies and the UH Manoa Department of Theater and Dance. And of course, we would really thank Hana Arts for bringing us out today. And also the Arts Focus Southeast Asia. These are all partners in making this program happen. And so we're really grateful to be here in Hana, and we hope that if you have time and you can come out with your ohana, we will be at the bamboo, at Hana Farms this evening from 5 to 7. You're welcome to come and engage with us. And then Pak Mojo will be doing a painting workshop tomorrow at Hana Tropicals from 10 to 2. So please, and they're free, so you, come on and join us. And be in touch if you want to learn more. Thank you. Salamat.
Thank you.